Hi, my name is Victor and welcome to my channel. Last time we chemically and physically decontaminated the M3, and now today we're going to work on taping the car. As you guys can see, I've already taped it and we're going to polish it. For taping, I just covered up all of the shadow trim, any kind of rubber that I might bump into, because you do not want to get polish or compound on rubber because it does not come out. I also did put tape around all of the headlights. Now you can polish headlights and taillights, but these are perfectly fine, so I did not want to mess with it. If you do have an M3, I recommend taping the little door where you would connect a roof rack or something like that, because polish will get into there and it's a pain to get out, especially with this one since it doesn't have the roof rack mounts. It just has the door there for some reason. I also taped up all the plastic trim up here, some of the shadow line. As you guys can see up here in the front bumper area, I did the emblem. The plastic lip on the bottom I did tape up as well because you do not want to get any kind of compound on that. And over here on the other side, we basically taped up the same areas as in the front. And in the rear of the car, I just taped up the emblem, the tail lights, and a couple other sections as well. Now that we went over all the taping and kind of what to look for, let's go ahead and get started with the polishing. Before I start to polish the car, I want to go over the tools that I'm going to use. One of the tools I'm going to use is the Griot's 3-inch random orbital polisher. This little polisher is good to get on the pillars, on your rear view mirror, and any other tight spots that you wouldn't be able to get with the bigger machine. Now the bigger machine that we're going to use today is the Boss G15 long throw orbital. Griot's Garage also makes this as well. This is more of their professional line and it works very well. This we're going to use to polish the majority of the car. Before we do start polishing, I like to find an area in the car where I feel it has the most defects, and I like to do a test spot. On that test spot, I'm going to try different pad and polish combinations to see what works best. Right now I'm going to try Griot's Garage Boss System yellow pad with their perfecting cream. Since the car only has light scratches and a couple swirls, I think with the perfecting cream in this pad combo, it will come out. The other problem the car has, like I said before, is it has a lot of water spots all over the place. So before we do polish, make sure to shake up your chemical. Then I'm going to take it. I like to prime my pad. So I just take the polish, let's go like that and kind of rub it in there. Make sure it's in make sure the whole pad has polish in there. And for good measure, I'm gonna put this down real quick. I also like to give it a spritz of detail spray just in case I did miss any areas. Let me go get that real quick. I'm just going to use some Adams detail spray and give it a quick spritz. Now that we did that, just add a couple of dots onto your pad. They don't need to be very big. I like to do 4. Like I said before, pick out an area where there's the majority of defects on, because if your test spot If the combination you use on your test spot works in that area, then it should work on your entire vehicle. So over here on the hood, there's a lot of water marks, a couple light scratches and swirls. So I'm gonna test it out right here. So before we do that, I'm gonna take the machine and blot it. This prevents, when you start it, that the polish flings all over the car. You wanna do about a 2x2 area. Now to spread out the spread out the polish, I like to put it on speed set 1 and spread it out like this. Now that we've spread out the polish, we're gonna put it on speed setting 4, and that's the speed that I'm gonna polish at. Before I do start that, we're gonna do 4 passes and a crosshatch motion. So we're gonna go this way for our first pass, and you're gonna do this on your entire 2x2 section. Then we're gonna go up and down, and that's gonna be a second pass. We continue to do that until we reach 4. Try to maintain your pad flat on the vehicle, because if you have it lifted or at any kind of angles, you're not going to be polishing all of the surfaces, and you could damage your paint that way. Do not add too much pressure, because if you do, this will stop spinning, and if it's not spinning, it's not polishing, so you're not doing anything. Add light to moderate pressure, and make sure that when you're doing your passes, you do them at a nice, slow, constant speed. If you go too fast, you will not polish your paint as well, and it might not remove all of the defects. So let's get started. That right there was 1 pass. I also did want to add, when you're doing your passes, try to overlap them by 50%, so that way you make sure that you are polishing the entire area. Now I'm going to go and continue on the second pass, going up and down. Now that I have my plush microfiber towel, we can go ahead and remove the polish. The good thing about using the crosshatch pattern is that once you do the 4 passes, that gives it enough time for the product to flash, so you know that it's time to wipe off. And also, it also makes sure that you covered all the areas and you didn't miss anything. I'm just going ahead and wiping that off. Now I'm gonna look at the paint, see if I still have any. I'm gonna get my little flashlight. I'm gonna look over the paint, see if I still have any scratches or any of the watermarks. And if you guys come over here and take a look, you can see that the paint looks pretty much flawless. I don't see any more watermarks. I don't see the light scratching. So since I tested one of the worst areas on the car and it seemed to remove the defects that we were concerned with, that is the process that I'm gonna use for the entire car. And it should remove any of the other defects that it has on the car, which are gonna be the light swirls and scratches and the water stains that he has. I'm gonna go ahead and finish polishing the car now. After every pass, you should blow out your pads. Now what this means is you're gonna, if you have an air compressor, you can take your air compressor tool and go like this. And blow out your pad. What that is doing is any of the old polish that's stuck in there, it is blowing it out, because if the pad gets clogged, it's not gonna polish. If you don't have an air compressor, you can buy one of these pad cleaning brushes. So what you would do is you would put your polisher on speed 1 and just hold the brush on it and go like this. And this will remove any of the polish that's embedded in the pad and remove it, so when you're polishing, it works better. Now, whenever you do a couple panels, it's recommended to go ahead and switch out your pad completely and put on a new one. So that way you can make sure that your machine and your pad is working at optimal level at all times. Whenever you're gonna polish a new section, you don't need to prime your pad already, since the pad has already been primed. You just have to go ahead and put your 4 dots on there. And that's all. You only have to prime the pad when you switch them out. I've just finished polishing the entire car. As you guys can see, the paint looks so much more glossier and so much more deep and rich. That's pretty much it for the polishing stage. I will remove all of this tape off camera. In the next video, we're going to talk about how we're gonna protect the paint. I'm gonna put a sealant on there, and I'm also going to talk about what we're gonna do with the trim and how we're gonna seal that. Until next time, see you guys later.